o'clock Central. So here we go. Here we go.
Hello, hello.
So the way I wanted to start off today was showing you how I started off my day. Because of course I do the morning devotion somewhere about getting up around 5:30ish, starting my live at 7 a.m. over on TikTok. And then here is, let's see if I can get it to play from here. Let's see here. So this is just my morning video. Here we go.
Okay.
Actually, there's no talking, so it's just motion, hopefully. All right, come on now. Yeah. Oh goodness. Well, you watch.
Sister chat. Sister chat or sister chit chat.
Hey sis, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Are we breaking up?
No, I hear you perfectly. Yes.
I said I'm. Did you say your name?
I'm Ajua.
I'm Bia.
Okay. Ajua
so
is my name.
Breaking up a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Okay, so I'll go back out and come back in.
All right. Why? Because we're live right now. All right, I'm just trying to get the video to. I think that if we came on and it ran smoothly, that people would think that there's something wrong with our. It's like, hey, they come on and they ran smoothly today. She's not. Why did she go out? Okay. All right. So what I wanted to do is try to get this to play from here. I'm like, why'd you kick yourself out?
Because you couldn't hear me.
I said it was breaking up, but I didn't want you to go out and come back in. I said we're live. Just stay on.
I don't know.
You couldn't hear me. So yeah, me just trying to get my thing to work correctly here. Just play, please.
Let the video play.
All right. Can you see that one?
No, I see you and I, and a little bit of it.
Okay.
A quarter of the screen. Yeah, take us off and put it on the screen, or just me off. Yeah. Okay, better. Yeah, you got it.
All right, guys. I can't fire the staff because that's just us. But this is me at the beach resort last year. Well, going back this week. Hopefully, when it goes by and it's recording, hopefully it's not bugging like that.
Right.
Let's see if I can play my thing from today.
Okay.
All right.
Pause.
Yes. So the only thing about that is that you make all that, you prep the preparation time.
Yeah.
You only get 2 cups of juice.
It's not bad. Did you have both? Did you drink both cups, or did you just drink one?
No, I drank both cups because that was my breakfast for the day. So that was my
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me see if I can remove that. There we go. See, I'm making progress.
Yeah.
My light's facing directly towards me. So no, I can't. Maybe I'll take my glasses off so you can't see the light in my eyes. But So are you on your on juicing, or what are you doing today? What did you have for breakfast, or did you just skip it?
I skipped it for right now.
Hmm.
I'll have a smoothie or a shake after this.
Yeah, that's what I put in my comments already because somebody said that they were going to make a shake, and I'm like, well, this is not actually a shake. This is just juice. But
Yeah.
so actually, we started off with that instead. So we went. That was holistic. So that had green apples,
Mm-hmm.
celery,
Mm-hmm.
parsley,
Mm-hmm.
and ginger, like two little thumbs, really small thumbs of ginger.
Okay. Did you
Pretty
have that
good.
ginger frozen or was it fresh?
It was normally I would. Oh, it actually was fresh. This time it was fresh.
Okay.
So I was thinking I do have some in a jar in the refrigerator for when I was cooking, but no, this was an actual. I sliced off a thumb of it and threw it in there. Two little
Oh,
thumbs,
you said slice off a thumb. I was like, who?
ginger thumb. That's I think this is what they call it when you slice off a little thumb.
Mm,
Yeah, a little nub.
mhm.
So anyway, so we were going to talk about holistic things today, and I don't think you can tell, but I do. So, oh, I'm jumping all over the place. This is what we do.
It's okay.
Um, so
I
I
could
have
go with the flow.
so this is what I use on my eyebrows. I might just do it on did you see my picture? Before you
No,
went
but
to bed?
you should show the old gadget you use, and then are you doing new products right now or what?
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm skipping all over the place, but I got kind of excited.
It's okay.
Let me take a look. Sorry guys. What do I do with it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, there's one that
Anywho,
comes in this cute little box,
mhm.
and it only has two prongs, and that's how, let me get close to the camera. That is
Okay.
how I do these eyebrows. So if they look invisible now, no, this is with help.
Bless your heart.
So
Your eyebrows.
I sent you a picture last night of me trying out the new one, which is four prongs.
Oh yeah.
You didn't see my picture?
No.
No, yeah,
Actually, I did see it, but I didn't comprehend what was going on there. It was kind of late.
no, because you would have been laughing yourself right to sleep.
Right.
I always like to supply you with a good laugh, right?
I
So,
know. I know. I
so
love it.
I tried it sitting here at the table last night, or should I
Mm-hmm.
say, just my desk, and I had this little mirror in my hand. Oh,
Mm.
look at that! You can see, had this little mirror in my hand, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to practice with this thing. And then I put the mirror down because you can't really see it that well, and I
Right.
moved on around, my business, and nobody's home with me, so I'm home by myself.
Come
So by the
along.
time my husband came home, I'm like, I'm not going to wash my eyebrows off. I want to show him. So I
Mm-hmm.
took everything else off my face, and I went to bed. Well, attempted to. Then I heard him come in because he comes in, later for work. And I got up to go to the bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Okay, so these are definitely, our mom's sisters all had the same eyebrows. I got my eyebrows from them. The the
Thin. Right.
the girls, the girls that started, their last name.
The big girls. Yeah.
Yes. And so
Mhm.
I said, I definitely do not have the B girl's eyebrows. I got Taylor eyebrows now. I stole them eyebrows
Oh,
from
that's what that
can you, can you? So of course I think that
Oh Lord. You said
I
that.
think that
Yeah.
our baby sister, who's not a baby, she's in her 40s. I think that she has
Still our
eyebrows
baby
between,
sister.
yeah, I think that she has eyebrows between the both of us, like not as
Yeah.
thin, not as
Right.
thick. She's like
Right.
right in between.
Yes. Perfectly right in
So,
between. Perfectly manicured. It's like whatever.
and mine were like that too. When I had some, mine were like that too. But
I'm like lay. Mine don't want to lay. They don't want to lay. They don't want to get brush up. The brush, works temporarily too. But like anyway.
from the time, well, I do my see from the time I was like, well, I don't know, 12, 13, I've always brushed mine up, well
Barbara's
manicured,
on.
did like that, and went across, did all that. And you got
Well,
them, you got yours, ain't even using them.
you were the Barbizon queen. I was the climbing the tree queen.
All right, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it with this one on my right eye,
Okay.
and then I'll get really close.
Okay, I
So
love it.
while we do that, I know you go ahead and start telling us about SoFi, because
Okay.
we did that like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, or maybe even
Mhm.
further. And I think I'm ready to go ahead and, start me a SoFi account. But tell us all about SoFi.
Oh, thank heavens. I've been waiting. It's like, we've been getting like pennies on our dollars, going through our regular savings and checking accounts. They don't care. They're going to give you put $1,000 in, you might get a penny if you're lucky, right? I know.
True.
I remember when we sold the house in the K Town, here in the States, not K Town in Germany, but K Town. We got a decent chunk of change, put the money into the bank, and lo and behold, you have that thing sitting there for a couple of months. And when I saw like 5 cents, I was really, really annoyed. That's why I knew I needed to make a change, because, when you finally have a little bit of change and they're still going to give you a penny for it, a few pennies for it, it's time to go. Right. So, and I have to say that, that bank had been, I can't say, I'll just say that it had a lot of perks minus the regular banking system percentage for your money. Other than that, it's great. Insurance was good. This, that, and that was good. They welcome you by your military name is good. And you get your money back from the ATM is good. Your eyebrows look amazing. Actually, either way, they're both amazing. They're amazing. You can barely tell until you moved up real close. I'm like, okay, eyebrows.
They're just a little bit thicker.
Yeah,
because this one's 4-pronged and the other one was 2 prongs.
Right.
So back to the seriousness of finances.
Well, that they have those little not ablations. What do you call that? What you can actually you can either get your eyebrows tattooed, which is kind of like I don't know what that, but they make it look like regular eyebrows.
That's still a tattoo.
That's okay. That's tattooing. But then they also have another one where they actually put like hairs, hair by hair by hair.
Yeah, that sounds painful. I'm not doing it. I like them, but not at the. I'm not a fan. Look, I was in the military. I don't care. I'm not a fan of pain. And although you and I both had what? You didn't have any epidurals at all, did you?
Oh Lord, let me tell you the story.
We're all over the place. So if you're watching us, just forgive us. We're over 50. But I had 4 children, no epidural. So I don't like pain, but I endured that so that they can have, so that my children will one day say, thank you, mommy. You think they care? They don't care.
So I had 4 children and 3 epidurals, was really ended up being, I had 4 children and 3 natural birth and one epi. And that was the AM child.
Just say the third child.
Third child, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Let me just say, I went from 2 7-pound babies to 2 8-pound babies, and can I just tell you, there is a difference. So, I barely asked for it at the last minute because it was not great. She was not breathing, and her heart kept stopping, and I had like 8, 9 doctors and nurses coming in and out. So it was like a safety issue with my daughter, and I could not push the child out. So that's what happened with her. And I ended up getting the epi, and only one complete half of my body was numb. So I'm feeling great pain on one side and nothing honey on the other. And so I was like, they said, well, we'll go ahead and give you another dose. They gave me a second dose for that third born. And then I couldn't feel absolutely nothing. When they told me to push, I'm like, I can't even, I don't. So it ended up that they said, hey, if you don't push, or figure out something, we're going to have to give you a C-section. And I said, the devil was a lie today. I said, just get me close to where it's supposed to be. When you see something rise, I'll just, make pretend and go.
An invisible push, right?
Girl. So anyway, so we get torn both directions with the last 2. Biggins. Our bodies weren't made for them kind. But anyhow, they
So what would have happened back in the day? Because lots of babies were delivered successfully in the middle of wherever. Of course, they make us think that.
Well, they come get you. Back then, they come get you. Before they started using the forceps, which can leave you little prongs in your head, or the suction thing where it's suctioning out your baby from by the head. They would come get, it's like a horse or a cow or whatever. They come get your baby. You know what I'm saying? Because you either come out or you both gonna meet Jesus, right?
Lord Jesus. So I don't know. I think that there was probably a lot better preparation time. the
Mm-hmm.
older elders of, I'm just thinking, like,
Yeah.
the elders could tell, and they probably would
Mm-hmm.
give you something nice to drink or eat, and
Mm-hmm.
it would just expand your uterus. And
Right.
I just like to think, pleasant thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm thinking there.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that's a lot.
Think pleasant thoughts. I got it. But it was something, and she came out broken clavicle,
Yeah, which means, explain to us layman terms.
which
I know you told me before.
which means that her bone was broken when she
Okay.
came out.
Hmm.
So long story short, was she went through a little trauma coming out. Bless her little heart. And I'll never forget, because back then they didn't just automatically leave your baby in the room, right? And so I was in Tennessee, Kentucky area. She was born on she's a border baby, in United States border baby, Connecticut. Connecticut.
Even though you were in the military,
Yeah.
just yeah.
So military installation happens to be on part Tennessee and part Kentucky. That part.
Look, the front door was Kentucky, and the back door was Tennessee. I'm like,
So in saying all that, I put a little note in her little crib saying, please do not lay her on her on her right clavicle, right? And big old letters, and send her down the hallway, making sure that everybody knew that this baby has a broken clavicle. Please do not lay her on it. I could hear my baby screeching from pain down the hallway. And I got up out of my bed, out of my sick bed. I said, give me my baby. And I'm usually with very polite people, but long story short is the child is screeching and no one is caring for my child, and I can hear you down the hallway.
she's not crying because she's hungry. Hello.
And they have glass, they have glass. The room is like all glass, so everybody can see their babies, right? Mm-hmm. So to be able to hear my child all the way down the hallway, something's wrong with you, right? So I said, Lord, help me, Father God. I know I love Jesus, but when you hear your child from all the way down the hallway and they're later on a clavicle, give me my baby. So she stayed with me the rest of the time we were there. Mm-hmm. And but that was the worst experience I had in the hospital. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you know what? And with each child,
yeah,
it didn't really get any better, because even by the time I got to my fourth child, I didn't have horrible experiences, because some people have horrible experiences.
Right.
But by the time I got to that fourth child, and he was 6 years younger than the third child, I was like, I don't want no picture. I don't even want any food.
Yeah.
I don't want, all I wanted was to get home, have peace and quiet.
Right.
Have a warm blanket, because he was born in October, but it's cold, it's noisy. You fall asleep, they come in, they're out, they're in, they're out. I think that it seems like it's designed to drive you crazy while you're in the hospital. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, so that my son has no baby picture from the hospital at all. None. The girls have a baby picture in the hospital, but you're so tired.
Yeah. No, I understand.
I was like, can you just get me? And then I didn't live that far from the hospital, so I don't want to say it's not hard. But anyway, no. And so if I tell my daughters right now, because my oldest one just had her first one. Mm-hmm. That to me, if I don't, as a grandmother, if I don't ever have to go through that with another daughter or even daughter-in-law ever, please have your baby on some compound with some doulas and some midwives.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was crying in the lobby. I think we've already talked about this before, but I was crying in the lobby when she went into, because she ended up having 2 epidurals also. Because.
My God.
But anywho, my little grandbaby girl is, and my I have 2 granddaughters now. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, God is good. So we just jumped right straight to holistic and self-care. So that so anyways, tell us more about the percentage wise and why we should go from regular savings account to SoFi. Okay, so
we should go from regular savings account and checking account to SoFi, because SoFi will allow you to. Oh, hey, I'm going to click on it so you can actually see the screen. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. And daughter of the Most High, thank you for being in the room. Yep. Okay. Uh-oh, she froze. Ah, until she pops back in because she'll realize I can't hear her. Yes, they birthed the child squatting, not laying down. And then she said they birthed children much different back 1,000 years than now. We're conditioned to do it their way. That is so true, and that's exactly what happened. Because as soon as you walk in the door, they start talking about
All right, sorry about that.
oh
I'm always concerned about separating myself when I call myself being like techie,
oh
not techie, right?
okay. So just before you jump back on it, I was saying daughter of the Most High was saying they birthed the children squatting, not laying down, and that is
Yes,
so true. That's
yes,
thank you for reminding us.
yes,
And they
indeed.
also birthed children much different back thousands years ago,
Hmm.
and now they've conditioned us to do it their way.
We forgot to mention that the first thing I tell you is C-section.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and
they
we
condition
already
you.
know that C-section is more money. But go ahead, you talk about that.
Yeah, they condition you from the time you go in and you're registered, saying you're on your way to have the baby. Then they start talking. We know that you want to have a natural birth, a
Yeah,
vaginal birth,
oh
but we're
yeah,
just letting you know that at the there may come a time, or if depending on the baby's in a threat or whatever, that we might have to do a C-section. So they're already conditioning you for the
yeah.
C-section. And by the time the baby was actually born, they probably had given her 3 different counsel sessions on having a cesarean and talking you into
Wow,
it.
that's crazy.
So yeah, I definitely from then I went right to texting my other daughters who are in different countries right now
Yeah,
and telling them if you ever if it comes time for you to have a baby, please let's have it somewhere else. I mean
yeah,
seriously. And
yeah.
you're right. Why are we not having it in the squatting position? I don't even hear of anybody. I hear people doing it with doulas and
Yeah,
midwives, but I don't
yeah.
even hear them talking about it being in the squatting position unless they're in a birthing pool. But yeah.
And that's what you're ready to say, birthing pool. But the thing is, and then if you're gonna have a doula, you better go ahead and plan this thing out to where when you know that you're pregnant, go ahead and make the appointment to get the doula. Because when my daughter-in-law wanted to get the doula for her birth, I think she probably asked like after the first trimester, just because you want to get through and make sure you're safe, whatever. She couldn't find anyone in this area in her old area here in San Antonio or Austin. She couldn't find anybody in the area that could actually do her because they were all booked up, which means that we have a shortage of doulas and we need to get back to the basics, right? But so
Right.
that's kind of, I know she was kind of disappointed about that. Okay, so back to the SoFi. So in SoFi,
Okay.
yeah. So in SoFi, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera around. Okay, this one I know I can do without having any kind of issues. Okay, so if you look at SoFi you can see that you'll get a percentage for your money. So can you see the checking word? The word checking?
It's backwards, but I do see checking. Yes, I don't know how to
Okay,
to
so
change them. Yeah.
okay, so the checking will just give you like the average. Actually, that's above average. 0.50 for a checking account is above average. Okay,
Okay.
but if you look down at the savings, what does the savings say? 3.3, right?
Yeah.
APY. You're actually getting money back on your money. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's SoFi. So long story short is go to your AP your APY for your regular account, and please tell me what you're actually getting. It's not
So
gonna. It's
now,
not gonna.
what does APY stand for?
It's your. Oh gosh. It's your.
Annual
It's
percentage.
yes, yield.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, that was a good guess. All right.
Yeah. So and I'm gonna. We always like to be factual. If I'm gonna say it, yeah, I wanna be able to see.
Confirm it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
And it's like you don't have to be a a genius or a mathematician or a financial person or a bookkeeper. Long story short, is this your money? It doesn't really matter if you don't know what it means, but high yield savings account is for real. Get one. Uh, that's a high yield saving checking that I showed you with the 3.3,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the annual percentage yield. Annual percentage yield.
Okay. Annual percentage year. Okay.
Yield,
Yield.
like
Okay.
yield
Gotcha.
value, right? Okay,
Gotcha.
so back to SoFi now. That's a savings account right there. Now go back to your savings account and see what you're actually getting, and your checking account. Now checking was 5.50% on the checking account. Um, you're gonna be really upset when you see what yours says, right?
No, I already
Okay.
know. If I have it in there for the whole year, and I know it's like say about $2,000 or whatever, I'm only getting 2 cents barely.
Yeah,
So
you might get 30 cents for the year.
I don't even think, I'm not even sure if it got that far. And that money's been sitting there like that for that. It can almost make you angry because it's been
Right.
sitting there for a couple of years, more than a couple of years, actually.
Right. So that part. So I say that to say that when you go down to the, then I'm getting, what am I getting for the high yield? For my high yield, yeah, 3.3. And then they give you an option also, I'm going to go into something different. They give you an option of being able to get yourself into the market.
And what does that mean?
To invest. So you're able to actually invest on this thing also. So you'll have, it has banking. Yeah. So I'm thinking this is like the neatest thing where you can do all in one in here. You have a home, okay, you have the home page, you have banking, you have smart card, you have credit card. I don't use smart card. I can probably read and tell you what it says, but they have credit cards here. You can invest here. You can do crypto here. You can get loans. You can get insurance here. So they have business things and things that work. So long story short, this thing can do more for you than you think. It's not like the average banking account. And I like that a lot. And then when you go to invest, it'll show you, okay, don't want to show you that, but it'll show you every day what you're making. Just like when you go to the regular, like when you go to the S&P, and it has the ups and downs and ups and downs. You can see the whole trajectory of your money. It'll tell you exactly what you made for that day, whether you're up or you're down. You can add cash from here. Just everything you want to do on what I invested in. I invested in the E-Trade at one point. But can I just say that you can do all that right here?
So okay, we're talking about high interest yield accounts. And so SoFi is a name brand of that's an actual name brand? Because like, you know how you have Q-tip and then Q-tip, like a Q-tip is the item, but they stole it and use it as a brand name. So SoFi is the name of a bank company that does high yield.
Yeah. Just like saying USAA or Navy Federal or whatever.
And SoFi is another one of those. Is basically a bank or whatever.
Yes, and I think I showed you on Old Navy. I think I showed you on Navy Fed. Let me see if I can open that one up too.
I have done something with them before, but it was like a year, and I had it in there for that year, and then I think I left it in there again, and it probably doesn't do as much as it seemed like the SoFi would do, though.
Yeah, and then CDs. Look for
what it was actually.
It was CDs. Okay. And all I can say is that everybody, either you to start with $100 on a CD, just put what you can in. Make sure you get a CD that will allow you to continue to add money, because there's different types of CDs, from 7 months to 18 months, depending. And it's whatever APR, the APY I want is what I choose. So I have a couple of 4% and a couple of 3% right now. But if you're not sure about investing, CDs is probably the safer way to invest. You might have a small.
What a CD stands for.
Okay, it's a security deposit. Security of deposit means CD. And like I say, I tell you what. What you don't know, you can always look up, which I love, and it's a certificate of deposit. It's a certificate. But what was I gonna say? So we have certificate of deposit, and I have like anywhere from 3 to 4% on those, right? And the money you're getting from those, it's like, why even have it makes you feel like, why even have a checking and savings? Well, the checking is probably good for you to have your bills have your bills come out of that directly, have a certain amount of money set aside just for that. But rather than having a saving account just sitting there giving you nothing, get a CD. Yeah. If you know you don't need the money right away, CD is the way, right?
Some people, we are not financial advisors by any means. This is just your personal.
Average person telling you how to get some money out from your money. Keeping in mind that inflation grows every year, but our paycheck usually doesn't match the growth of inflation, right?
Mhm.
So this is one way to offset, the difference between inflation and your money sitting in the bank doing nothing,
Mhm.
right? So CDs, 3 to 4%. I suggest back in the day they were higher when I didn't know about them, but when you learn, when you're learning things, you just kind of go from where you are right now. 4% is my jam. Put the money in there. It's better than getting 0.00001%, in a checking or a savings account.
Mhm.
CDs, certificate of deposit. Okay. My jam. So I also talked about money markets last time. And money markets, I told you I had it from another bank. Money market, I don't have it because it's not a whole heap of money, but it's something and it's accumulating something, right? So the money market I like a lot because with the money market, it's a checking account. Okay. The money market allows you to get the same percentage as having a say the savings I have on SoFi that was getting the 3.3%, or it's kind of like also kind of like a CD getting the 3 or 4% as well. The only difference is when you have the money market checking account, you don't get any kind of penalty. Like if you take your money out of the CD before it's time, you'll have some measure of a penalty, and usually it's like it's not a big deal depending on how much money you have in the account. But that is money you don't get back. But keeping in mind, you're accumulating interest every month, every month, every month. So that's really the exciting part about it. So even if you did take it out of the CD, you're going to make that money. That money is going to still continue to accumulate. The following month and so on and so on and so on. But with a money market account, it's a checking account that also has an APY on it, depending on which bank you get, and you can take that money in and out like a checking account, and there's no penalty.
I got you.
So it's like a win-win-win. So money market, CD, what else? High yield saving account.
Yep.
So that part.
Yeah.
And that's too. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to be, for me, I want to be a good steward of my money. Like I say, one day these numbers are going to be a little bit more, so I can actually, provide for my children and my children's children one day. But for right now, it is what it is. But the fact that you can watch your money grow, it is a blessing. And also this gives me time to get more familiar with investing. Although I started some years ago, I know we had Fidelity way back when,
We
and
did too. I kept that even a little bit of chump change in there. Yeah.
Oh Lord, and, it's like when you know better, you do better. But that could have actually gave me some retirement money now. At this age, if I had
And
to
it's funny.
just kept it going.
I think that ours is just there, and because there's so many different fees for the people who handled it for you, that it started to eat away at the money that was just sitting there. So that's one thing that we need to. My husband and I need to go ahead and check just to make sure that it actually was, closed out, and if there was just zero in there, because I don't remember finishing it up. We were actually stationed in Spain at that time.
And I was actually stationed in Germany, so I get it. And and then life comes, and then you have children, and you kind of need some money, And so that's what happened to me. It's like well, life be life, and all I can say is thank God we had a little nest egg back in those days to be able to pull from, But yeah, so it's like if we can actually, it's like it doesn't matter when you start saving as long as you start saving and saving in the right way, right? But if we can just get one young person, I know I'm like jibber jabber, but if we can just get one young person to change their lifestyle by putting a certain amount of money into an account now. Oh, sorry, I just knocked myself off the thing.
Oh, let me go back and check to see if Daughter of the Most High is in here, if she's made a comment at all.
Okay.
She says my chime savings is monthly.
Oh, see, exactly. And that's exactly right.
And she said she got about $11 in 1 month. What?
Yes, and it depends on how much money. Not everybody's gonna get $11, but praise God, thank you. It depends on your persistence, what you're putting in there, how much you're putting in it. And so what I can say is that's amazing, and it feels so good knowing that just in your mind's eye, just quickly, 10 months right there, that's 110. That's $110 right there. $11 a month. Come on, So I just think it's amazing. Keep going. Daughter of the Most High, we're proud of you. And if we can just talk to just one young person gets it and starts doing it right now, imagine how that money can accumulate.
Exactly.
So
and then you teach it to your children, because I know she has a son too. And you still
Exactly.
take that same tool, teach
Yeah.
them while they're young, because as they get older, Lord Jesus,
Train them up in the way they should go.
yes.
Not just spiritually, but also financially. And something it's like a financial taboo, for some families. You don't even talk about it, especially people of color. So we need to get out of that stereotype. We're not. This is not back way back when. Now we have the means. You know what I'm saying, through technology to learn some things. You need to forget what APY is. You need to forget what CD is. Put it in. Okay? Put it in and watch it grow.
Right.
And it's like, it's like a form of accomplishment for yourself, knowing that you're investing in yourself and in your future and your family's future.
Mhm.
So that part. Okay. And so I wanted to say, before we even talk about garden later on, what I'm talking about today in gardening is going to be totally different. I'm not going outside. I want to talk
Okay.
about a store that has gardening supplies. Okay.
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 Mhm.
So that was finances, holistic.
Uh-huh.
I talked about some new products. Do you have any new products? I think I probably have some more. I don't know.
I do not.
You do not.
I do not.
What?
Yes.
So
I
besides my
do.
eyebrow
Well,
cream, go
actually,
ahead.
I do have. I bought another Ethiopian Bible. This one has like extra large print. I'm like so excited about that.
Wait, go run and
So
get your Bible. So I want to see yours, and then as you're showing yours, I'll go. I'll show mine. I'll run and get mine. We'll wait. The other thing I wanted to show while she's gone, though, like we're always doing commercials. Not like we're getting paid for any of these things, but I know I'm noticing that you get better sleep if you're taking magnesium in ashwagandha. So this just happens to be um, a magnesium and ashwagandha gummy, and I have I don't know. I have 2 bags of this that came in the mail. I forgot that I even ordered it, and then I ordered some other gummies that were also magnesium, and I was showing my magnesium and my
okay.
ashwagandha.
Oh yeah,
So I had this one, 2 bags came in, and then the other ones came in, like 2 days later. That's
yeah.
I need to say something for my memory because I'm ordering stuff and it comes in. And
Oh,
I'm like, honey, what did you order? He's like, I didn't order anything. It's like me, I ordered it. I gotta write myself notes so I can know. Nobody, it's nobody but
you're not
me.
doing very well for your case. Your case of shopping. At least don't ask him what he did, what he ordered.
Well, because I could see the money came out. I'm like, what did you order? And you didn't even tell me. It's like it was me.
Shaking my head. It happens. Okay,
Yeah.
so the first. Oh, you
Talk
first. Go
about your
ahead.
Bible. Show your Bible. I'm gonna go get
Okay.
mine.
Okay, so I'll talk about mine. So I'm going to talk about the first Bible. So the first Ethiopian Bible I got was about yay high. I probably about 8. It seemed like 8 inches high, and maybe the words were so small that I needed a magnifying glass to read it. And I'm thinking, wow, this is not great. So I'm just talking about my older eyes. I'm going to say older eyes getting young. So then I said, well, you know what? Let me see if I can get a bigger book, a bigger Bible. So the larger Bible came in, and I had this for a few months, and this is the size of the print. I thought, okay, well, I said, well, it's definitely better than the first one because the first one I couldn't even read. I mean, it was just a lot. So, it's a lot to pack into a small Bible. So I'm going to call this, and I didn't ask for a large print on this one, but this is how the print that they came in. So then I said, you know what? I wonder if they had even larger print than this. So I went online, and lo and behold, I found also the complete Ethiopian Bible in extra large print. So I didn't know what to expect, knowing that it said extra large print. Besides, the print was going to be bigger than the one I just showed you. And the one I just showed you is probably like the average size print for any book, right? It says that it's but it doesn't say what print. Sometimes it tells you what font, and I don't see it on the one I showed you. So the first one has no font information on it, and font is just the size of the letter, right? But this one says 17 font. So I was just showing that the first one the second one, it's really the second one I bought. The second one I bought was this one. I said first, but the first larger book. I know, because you're my sister. So yeah, so this is the first. This is the second one I bought. The first one I bought was a really small book. And I couldn't read the print.
Does
Now,
yours say 19? But does yours say 1920 on the outside? And then mine says 2,000 books right there. Hold it up and hold yours to the.
okay, mine says 1700. This book says 1700. 88. It's 88 books in 1700.
All right, but
So
right here
17.
it says made in 1912.
Okay, yours says made in 1912. Mine says 1612 digital. Says digital books 1612. It says
Oh,
printed books 88.
girl,
That's what
why
it
I think it was made in 1912? It says digital books 1912. 19.
says.
I should
Okay,
read before I start. You know.
we
All right.
should. So, and then mine says the difference between this Bible and the other one. This one actually says that the font is 17. You see 17 right here,
Oh,
which means
okay.
it's the size of the lettering. So, can I just tell you that I was so excited when I opened up the word, and
Oh,
look, girl, that is the size of like Steve
oh,
Charlie one.
yeah.
I
Because it's
was so excited at the size of the words.
Can you
Yeah.
read it? Look, that's ridiculous. Look how tiny mine are.
Wait. So now I'm going to try to put them side by side so you can see the size of the font. I don't know. Check out the difference between this side and,
Yeah.
and this side.
Yeah.
Difference,
Well,
girl.
see, now I know. I didn't know you could look for the font size because that makes sense.
So I'm going to read this one without any kind of glasses.
I need a magnifying. I think I probably even have one around here somewhere, a magnifying glass to read this because this is tiny.
No, I have one smaller. I had smaller than this, believe it or not. So I have an extra large size, and then this size came in, and I thought it was going to be like large, but long story short, it looks like average size, book lettering size. So super excited. So of course, as soon as you get it, you got to start reading it because I mean, this is like pretty doggone neat. I can't believe I wasn't going to talk about this, but yes. And so I love the fact that they both are, they both have the 88 books. And then they also have what's called what is it called? Hang on, see if I can find it. The prayers of Manassas. It's got prayers of Manassas as well.
You can go to YouTube and the prayer of Manassas is actually it's on YouTube.
Oh, listen, I try to get them. Let me go ahead and close this account. Log out, shall I say? Log out.
My poor laptop's like, you've been using me overtime today. I'm high. It's hot. It's really hot.
Also, another thing I've got to say was sometimes when you invest, you'll watch the money go up and you watch the money, you watch the money go up and down.
Don't take it out.
If you just don't take it out, if you just hold, ask the Lord to help you hold, it's just going to benefit you, And I'm not going to lie, I got some bills. So I did have to lessen the amount that goes in. And just because once I can go back to how I want to invest, even though I should go ahead and put the money in now and figure out a way, but I'm not going to rob Peter to pay Paul when Paul needs to be paid. But Peter needs to be paid,
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I've heard we grew up hearing rob Peter to pay Paul, but you said you want Peter to be paid. Did you just make that one up?
Yes. But and I'm looking at my gains, and whenever the arrow is up, that you're doing well. The market's doing well, and your account's doing well. Don't get discouraged when you see the arrow going down. Bullish means it's going up, and bearish means it's going down. Okay, that's all I got. All right, so closing that out. Sorry about that. I almost forgot that little tidbit of information there.
So, do you want to go with history, and then because garden seems like that's the fun thing to close out with?
Okay. So, and then with history, let me get to my page. I just wanted to, a lot of times we're talking about. I want to say that I always talk about you with your 50 billion apps open or your windows open, but you see me now having to scroll through to find what I want to talk about because I did not do what you just did. Which we have to continue to do. So kudos to you. Sorry for the little side judgment, but
All right. So she's talking about the fact that I have like about 40 tabs open at one time, but they're all categorized. All the YouTubes are together. All the emails are together. Yep.
So and then I've got a billion trillion pictures, and of course I took a picture in it, so it's in here. I don't know why I just didn't save it to the top or like email it to myself so that way it's actually readily available. No, I get to scroll through, squint, and trying to figure out
what for emails or what.
No, I had a whole Black History list that I wanted to go over, and now, well, I say Black History, but I have American history of us Black people. And with that, that I wanted to share.
You
And
can't go to the top and type in history and have it come up.
well, I
Of
don't
what?
know because it's actually in my pictures, it's in my photos.
Okay. It was a screenshot of a list.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I was like, Vo is my pictures, better.
Well, I guess you'll have to start sending it to me. And
You
it's
know
funny.
what? I will. And then
You
that
and
way
I,
uh-huh.
you and I are really good at ordering some books. Now it's going to take what, the electricity going out in order for us to sit and read all the books that we have.
You know
Like,
what? And that's so funny. Listen, we need to set at least, not including our prayer and our word time, but just actually just reading like different subjects is what I'm doing.
15 minutes a day is one of the businesses I was in, taught you to do
Right.
that. So
I'd say at least if you're gonna do 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes with different areas. I want to do different areas of 15 minutes each. So maybe an hour or two segments for myself throughout the day. I have that one too, my dear. Don't make me run go get it. Don't
the
make me run get it.
only living trust book you'll ever
You'll ever
need.
need. Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I haven't. Well, this one girl was on TikTok, and she had a. I don't think it was daily. It was probably weekly day where
Mm-hmm.
she would read out loud from this book, like The Psychology of Money.
Oh, okay. So
So I missed her reading because, well, when I would go on, she was a single mom, and so she had children, and they would be. I couldn't concentrate because her children would be in the background being children, but because I'm older, I just couldn't focus. And I'm one of
yeah.
those, um, I don't know. I'm not going to label myself for stuff right now online, but
No,
so anyway, I went out and I ordered the book right away, and I never made it back to her page.
it's because it's distracting.
Yeah, yeah,
So it is okay to say that. That doesn't mean you're whatever
yeah.
label.
Well, no, I was going to say, because back in the
Mm,
day, they labeled all these kids with ADHD, LMNOP, and all that
yeah.
type of thing. So I
Mm-hmm.
said I'm not going to label myself, but yeah.
Yeah.
So the fun thing, even while you're doing that, what time is it? We got less than 15 minutes.
No
But
way.
so the one thing
Okay.
too, they only have one day left to do their taxes. Tomorrow is
Cool.
the day,
Tomorrow is the day,
and
and
or if they
I'll
can
just
file
say
with
that
the
not
accountant.
everybody's happy about what they have to pay or not. Whatever. But you're not interested. Go
Yeah,
away.
and let's vow that this year we're all going to take better time out to be better organized with our taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you
Yeah.
can anybody, if you're out there, start a side hustle because that helps to put you into a different tax bracket.
Right.
But that's what I was gonna say to my husband. I knew that he was over six. I was gonna say he's over 65 because he's actually gonna be 66 this year. But it wasn't
Wow.
until we were around our cousin this 2 weeks ago, I think now,
Uh-huh.
and
And it's like you forget that he's that old too.
I know. But sitting in front of the tax lady, she said, "Oh, you get to save. We get to take $6,000 off the top, or something to that effect. Put you in a different tax bracket because you're 65. You're going to be 66."
Yeah.
And that allows you to be put into a different tax bracket and
Right.
saves you $6,000. I was like, what?
Yes. And then they
So,
have. Go ahead. So
that made me realize that my husband's actually 60. He's almost 66. But I'm like, what? This man is 65? Because even though you know the number, it wasn't like significant until she started to talk about the tax benefits.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was
That
like,
part.
wait, what? So
Yes,
anyways,
indeed.
so did you find it, or do we need to go ahead and just skip to the garden because we have like
Girl, let's get to the garden. And while
all
we're
right,
doing that, okay. Yeah, Black History. Rude.
like my my two daughters in the middle would say, uh,
Mhm.
they're carrying the whole conversation because you did the finance today. You were looking for the history and the
Yeah.
gardening.
Oh, okay. So last thing. So gardening. A lot of times we have the habit of going to the big gardening stores to get whatever we want, and we forget about the little stores.
Yeah, I like the little stores too. I do try and patronize them first, and then if I can't find it, then I'll go to the bigger stores. But yeah, I hear
Right.
you. Yeah.
So you know what? A lot of times, I go to bed a little bit later than I should, right?
Oh
And
my gosh. Go ahead. You have to tell us that, but just before we go out.
So I couldn't help it, but I hit that. But when you hit garden, you get like mesmerized, right? So I went down the rabbit hole, and it was talking about the bigger chains that we go to and how much money we spend on the little this arch for the garden to have it to be able to expand and be able to have a trellis over and it costs X amount of dollars. It ends up being hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars if you're paying for large company stuff. But when you go to the little small places, I gotta click on this bad boy. It was showing you some of the savings that you can go to my favorite store that went from $1 to $1.25 store, and then $1.25 in up store, which made me super sad. But it was showing so many things. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over and turn my camera around so you can see it. Okay, okay, can you see this? These are the pots that we pay for at the big store, and look what we're saving when we actually just go ahead and buy it from the store that we should be buying from in the first place. It was giving me the comparisons as to what we spend on these, and I've been guilty. I totally forgot about this store. I'll go to the store for arts and crafts for my kids, my grandkids, and for other things, but I didn't stop to think that hello, they have a whole store here we can go to. It gave you ideas as to what you can do for indoor and outdoor, whether you want to do like a hydroponic system indoor. And I'm talking about, it's really, really classy, right? So I don't want to, so, and this right here is just showing you the roots from a hydroponic system. And all it is like items that you can find in the dollar stores, as opposed to going to the big, marketing stores for the same particular item. So I'm thinking
it's not all fancy, but it still works.
Right. It's not all fancy, but it works. Okay. I'm trying to click through. Okay. So, and it's even showing you that actually you can do this is the whole entire system, but you're paying for this entire system for pennies on a dollar. Now, I will tell you that I was one of those people that ran and got a hydroponic system when hydroponic systems were a thing. You know where it is right now? It's off. It's not running any water. It's not growing anything right now. I am going to go ahead and re-implement it now that I have more space. When you start clearing up some space, for certain things, then I can go back to, what I really enjoy is watching stuff grow. And hydroponic system, all I can say is that the food, you can actually start it in a hydroponic system, or you can finish it, do the whole thing through the hydroponic system, depending on what you're actually trying to grow. So I thought I was going to have nothing to talk about today, but I have so much to talk about. So I know we only have a few minutes, so I'm just going to go through it. It shows you also some arts and crafts that you can actually do to make some of the things on the indoor look beautified. So you can use that and make like your own arts and crafts on the outside, and it's just as artsy as going to Etsy or going to the big stores, and you've done it yourself. Mm-hmm. So I'm like super, super excited about that. So I'm just going to keep scrolling back and forth. You don't want to see the whole, blah, blah, blah. But look, check this one out. This is just using the rope. You can get some glue. You make your own design. You put it on there. Voila. You've made that yourself and for pennies on the dollar. Right?
Yeah. Nice.
So,
like
yeah. So all I can say is it pays sometimes to go through, okay, this is actually giving you the name of the place and it's showing you some of the items. I'll know for next time to make sure that I actually have all the ones that I want you to see really available. I have so many on here that I don't want to bore you with it. So, but yeah, garden trees. You can go ahead and get a pull the pet stuff out if you don't have any pet, and use the containers that they have. Cheaper. Yes. So instead of paying like $40 for a bucket, you can pay $10, $5, $2 for it. So I thought that was pretty amazing. That was for my sister. Okay. But yeah, so I could go on and on in here as far as showing you some of the things that they actually had. But it's just to give you an idea that everything doesn't have to be, if you don't have space in your backyard, you can go to these little small stores and, go ahead and get yourself started. You can do herbs, you can do lettuce, you can do all kinds of things right in your own home. All you need is some sunlight, because all of a sudden they do all the plants and vegetables and all that. Photosynthesis is what they need, and that's just from the sun. So you just need water and the sun, and in a thing, a little container, whatever, to actually grow it in.
So since you said that, I'm gonna. You try and before you move, it's like, okay, let me see if I can do this without exposing that my house needs to be a little bit more organized. But
I'm not even
So
worried about it
here's
anymore.
my little,
Yeah. Oh, see, yes. So you get it, sis. But they use trash cans. You know the trash cans that have the holes in it, like the metal trash cans. Yep.
oh yeah.
Nice. Yep.
And
Uh-huh.
then I have, let me keep it on me.
Okay.
And then I had somebody, ooh, and you got that, see a little, my little palm tree is in the house there?
Yes.
It's real. It'll
Thriving.
go outside as soon as it starts to get a little bit more warmer, a little warmer. And then I
Right.
have another one right through this glass door, another
Mm-hmm.
tree that you can see.
Wow.
So I
Look
bring
at
them
and look
all
at
in.
all that and look at all that sunlight.
I know, right? This my laptop's really is hot. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had somebody come and help me to get organized because I really wanted to get organized and keep talking about it. But
Mm-hmm.
so then here's my little window, and all that's from last summer. So some of them are starting to come back again. And I went
Wow.
to the Stop and Shop, our little grocery store, and got
Yeah.
these are my parsley. So there was like two for $2 or something,
No way.
two for five maybe. That was even a good deal.
Yeah, but you can also do
So
that by seed, grow it by seed.
girl, girl, yeah. But it takes forever, and as much parsley as most of us eat parsley
Yeah.
and cilantro,
Oh, yeah.
all of us have like 10 plants, but yeah, by seed, my squirrels and them eat them stuff up. So yeah, I try and do that every single year, but since how they were there and it was really inexpensive, I just went ahead. I don't know what this thing is. I need to Google it. It just popped up in here
You,
all by itself.
they have apps you can go to and it will tell you what it is.
Yeah, because it said it was
If
some
you don't
kind of
want
a, it said it was some
to
kind of a spinach. I'm like, what? And then of course I have this
pull
is
it on taste
my
it. If you know
I
for
kind
sure
of want to
it's a
do that,
type of
but
spinach.
I think I'd rather have somebody home with me in case
Oh Lord, please wait.
yeah, yeah. And then of course I
Yeah.
like to even rub it up against rosemary because I like you can plant rosemary, but rosemary is very fickle.
Yeah.
So I end up just usually buying a piece of it. That in time, thyme is a little bit easier to grow, but for some reason, rosemary can be difficult. So I just buy it and stick it in there. I'll
So
probably have a couple. That one is in the house.
girl, I started a
So
rosemary by seed, and that rosemary in a pot. That thing I had to keep transplanting. It got so big, it was huge, and I went away for 3 months. And the person I had watching it said, "The only thing I'm going to water is your what was I going to water? The avocado tree." And so I said, you know what? Okay, but that thing was beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful.
and see that your weather is different too because
I
me,
hate
I
that.
have
It
to
was scorched. It was so dead.
yeah,
Dead in doornail.
yeah.
Yeah,
But so there's some things that are really easy for me to plant and grow.
yeah,
But then again, how long have I had my seeds? Am I
yeah.
preparing my seeds properly? That type
Right.
of thing. And then I used to
Yeah.
only do like 3 or 4 or 5. I'm like, you need to sow like 10 things at one time because you don't know if you do 3, you're gonna be sitting there wait for 7 weeks for these 3 things to grow, and the seeds might be duds. So
Especially
it's
if it's
better
not
to
like heirlooms like seem to just provide the fruit that you're expecting. But when you get them from like say the lower end, you never know. I also certain things I'll soak my seeds prior to.
Mhm.
That way it's kind of waking them up and saying, hey, we're getting ready to do something.
Right.
You know.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
but
So
you can use hula hoops. Is it timer right? But you can use hula hoops, and if you wanted to actually cover your garden bed or your garden, you can use hula hoops. Cut it, cut where they have that little perforated, where they glued it together with there. Cut right there. It's flexible enough where you can open it up and cover it over with the mesh. You can make your own covered garden. If you need to cover it,
well, I
protect it from
only
the
go to do
sun
that
or
on certain
bugs.
things. You'll have to show me a
Yeah.
picture of that. You'll have to. That's your That's your homework assignment. Is have to find a hula hoop.
I have it right here.
Because I've been using hula hoops to identify where I think a certain plant should be, but I never use it as with. But you're doing it. We got it. We got to get out of here. It's 2:00. It's 2:00. Go down some more. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Yes.
Is that not neat or what?
That's
Hula
cool.
baby. Hula hoops.
That is cool. Yeah. So now that we're down to where it's already 2:00, my phone went off. What in the world? You knew we had a live today. Why you were up till 3:00 in the morning doing gardening? I understand you can go down that rabbit hole. It's a rabbit
Yes.
hole.
And then I had to do my spiritual thing, so I couldn't just go to sleep, because I'd been up so late. So I ended up being 3:00 because I refused to go to bed, and the last thing I do was gardening and not Yahweh. That's how I'm trying to live my life now. Yahweh. You know what I'm saying?
His way, Yahweh.
So, but I feel amazing, you know?
Okay, amen. All right. So I've been up since 5:30 and I'm like, I need a nap. But and you know what? At this age, at this old, at this nice ripe age, I'll put it that way. Do what you need to do. If you need a shot of sleep, then do it. If you need, so I made my post for over on TikTok, and I'm like, okay, what juice did you start off with, or how did you start your morning off? I said an orange juice doesn't count because that lady that I told you to
Oh,
watch the other day,
yeah,
uh, those things are spiking us. I mean,
yeah.
we were really given the American dream of eating breakfast, sugary
Mm,
cereals, and we are just,
horrible.
yeah, messed ourselves up. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, yes, I love it, love it, love it, love it. So anyway, my sister, thank you
Yes.
for this time. Thank you for
Uh-huh.
hopping on and never saying at the last minute that you don't feel like doing it. Because there's been days when I'm like, I really don't feel like doing it. But once you get into it, you set up and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, we roll with it.
Right.
So we thank you for all the people who are going to watch later on this week, and
Mm-hmm.
to just make sure you put pound replay in there for us. We thank you to Daughter of the Most High for she may be able to come back and finish watching. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
popping in and interacting with us in the comment section. And peace and blessings. Oh, the other thing I want to mention is that I'm trying to figure out, I want to do an Esther series. So I'm not sure if I'll do it Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening or Saturday going into Sunday. I don't know. But I've
Right.
always wanted to do that. And I just want to kind of, and then, I'm not sure. I'll mention myself. I have been doing this 2 days on and 2 days off of fasting,
Right.
and and so where you just do juicing or a smoothie for 2 whole days. So when you've done it in the past or do whatever, do you
Mm-hmm.
are you stopping at 4 6 o'clock p.m. or are you trying to go all the way through to the next day? Because for me, it
So
depends on how I feel. Like if I really feel like I need something, I'll stop at 4 or 6.
right.
But
Exactly. Exact same. Same.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to mix that with intermittent fasting. So even when I do on the days that I am eating,
Yeah.
I try to eat like after 11 or between 11 and 12 o'clock. Just like,
Yeah.
but the thing I have to do to incorporate this thing because I keep feeling staying stuck is to I need to add some walking. And so that lady said,
Same.
I'm gonna save these 7 tips for next week because we're gonna talk about more. Where am I gonna be? Ooh, I might be traveling. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna write it down for us to talk in the holistic area. We're gonna be talking
Yeah.
about 7 things that you should do that you can do to help your, increase your health and to
Okay.
change your health around in a positive
Yeah.
way.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
All
Sounds
right.
good. Yeah.
All right then. So thank you guys for showing up for us and showing out. We appreciate you. And until next time, peace and blessings. Right? What do we do? Peace, love,
Love and
and
blessings.
blessings. All right, all right, all right. I have another question too that I'll ask, but I'll wait till we go on out. But thank you guys for being here, and we appreciate